Welcome to Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, presented by 8th and Walton, the premier destination for supplier development, and sponsored in part by Dun & Bradstreet Credibility Corp., the leading provider of credit and credibility solutions for businesses. Today, we have a special program on social media for suppliers. It's so special, in fact, that we're going to jump right in with our first segment with Haden Interactive. Then we meet with guests from In Marketing, Acorn, and finally, Saatchi and Saatchi X. Let's get started. Rebecca Haden and Rosie Haden from Haden Interactive join us today with great insights for suppliers on the topic of social marketing. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad to have you guys here. So this is a big topic, so let's get started. Owned, earned, and paid for content. What's the difference between those?
Your paid for content are ads, and those might be ads on Facebook or Google AdWords or what have you, but you pay for them. They can get you fast results. You really have a lot of control over who sees it, but it doesn't stay after you stop paying for it, so it's kind of temporary. Your owned content, that's mostly your website, the things that you really have control over. Sometimes people feel like their Facebook fan page or other social media are owned, but all it takes is for that company to make a change in their approach, and you've lost it. So an example.
And have companies done that?
Absolutely. Yeah. LinkedIn last year, before that time, they had allowed companies to show products and have special pages for products. And last year, they just quit doing that. So then it's gone. Oh. So you kind of own that, but you
kind of own it, right? When it's free and when they have it out there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. But and your earned content, your earned media is when people are talking about you. So that's when your fans come over to your Facebook page and say how great you are, or a blogger talks about you. There's an article in the news about you, and you can encourage that, and you can certainly promote it after it's been produced.
Okay.
But you can't fake it. You can't promote that yourself or make it up yourself. You have to just have a good enough product that people actually want to talk about you.
So you get all of this information out there. The social media kind of gets kicking in and everything else. What metrics, how do you kind of measure whether it's successful, whether it's working or isn't working?
Well, you definitely want to make sure that before you even start your social media campaign that you have good ideas of what you want your company's goals to be.
So hurdle rates. I mean, suppliers use this with Walmart all the time, right? The buyer says, I want this hurdle rate. You know, so you have some measurement, some tool, some place to say that's where we're going to try to get to. Is that kind of what you do at the beginning with this?
You want to make sure that you have an idea of what your company wants to do, and then you find how those goals for your company fit in with the goals that you can measure within social media.
A lot of companies do it backwards.
A lot of companies do.
They'll say, well, we're on Facebook. Obviously, likes are something you can count on Facebook. That's what will count. But likes don't correlate with sales in most cases.
But you can count likes.
Yeah.
You can count likes.
You can count likes. That's what companies like. They like to count.
They do. And having something that you can see that says that, you know, that the likes on the page are going up. I mean, people feel good about that. You know, you like to see that. You like likes. but at the same time, those don't always connect clearly with sales or any other goals that you've got set for your company. And sometimes if you only pay attention to those likes, when you get to the end of the year and you look and you see, okay, well, is this working for me? Often you're disappointed, and not because it didn't work, but because you didn't have a clear connection between what you wanted and what you were measuring.
So having a clear strategy is really important for suppliers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can you give me an example of a strategy that you did for another company?
One of the companies that we work with does skincare products, and one of their products that's really unusual is what's called the Everything Bar. It's for men, and they can use it for face, hair, beard, body, and they just need that. But, you know, it's just a bar of soap, a brown bar of soap.
Everything.
It does everything.
Else.
Right. So we wanted to position it as something that you could actually give as a gift. Every guy needs to have. It's so cool. And so at Pinterest, we made a board that showed places to take your Everything Bar. And we have, you know, some very fit guys climbing rocks and hiking through the desert.
Camping with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so each of the pins is not a picture of the bar, it's a picture of beautiful scenery and handsome guys, both of which get shared a lot at Pinterest.
So you sit down with the Everything Bar people, and you guys kind of develop a strategy of who they want to be and what they want to be, and then you kind of develop it from there?
Yeah, we want to know what they want to see happen, what they want people to do.
Okay.
And then it's our job to think about how do we get people to do that thing.
How do you get people to talk about it and post it to others? And
yeah. And that involves making sure that you have an understanding of the people who would be purchasing this type of item, and then thinking about what they like, what they want to talk about, what they want to share, and providing that for them.
Well, Rebecca, Rosie, this is great information, and I know the suppliers are going to really enjoy listening to this episode. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Saturday morning meeting for suppliers. We'll be right back.
Introducing MV Retail, the smart device-driven, dashboard providing, you need to know the truth, and you need to know it now, team management software. Using your existing staff and smart devices, MV Retail changes the game by leveraging the full power of mobile team management, all while consolidating multiple management systems into a comprehensive software solution for your business. Using a smart device GPS, we collect data points from the field, giving you real-time results, allowing your company to automate processes such as payroll and mileage, and confirming employee movements and activities. Whether you are a selling, merchandising, training or service organization, MV Retail has you covered. The results are in. With MV Retail, companies are saving money on labor, accomplishing more with their time, and selling more, because employees have the proper tools for completing their work. Whether you have a team of 5 or 15,000, MV Retail can serve your business needs. So don't delay. Contact MV Retail today to set up a free trial, because no matter what your business, you have to agree. Wondering is bad, and knowing is good.
We're here today to talk with Henry Ho, a field agent, about the importance of retail websites. Henry, you just conducted a 2,000-person study. What did you learn?
We learned a lot, Andy. We conducted it with the Path of Purchase Institute, and it was an in-the-moment mobile diary. That means shoppers were asked to chronicle their website visits.
Okay.
And we chronicled about 2,000 retailer website visits.
And what did you learn while you were chronicling these people?
Yeah, we learned a lot, that shoppers in general were looking well beyond electronics. Lots of people think that it's about electronics.
Right.
We also learned that it's more than just social media, that the websites for our retailers, partners, are very, very important. It's the place where ultimately the shopper is going to land.
Well, and it's where they can give their message the way they want to give it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, what we found also is that there was a variety of reasons where shoppers were going to retailer websites. One was around planning their shopping trip. 2, they're looking for specials and deals. 3, researching a product. And 4 is deciding whether to go to that retailer or not if they had the item that they were looking for. And lastly, whether they're going to buy something on that website.
Sure. Sure. So what else, what were the implications of this, though? How does this impact suppliers and also CPG or stores?
Yeah, I think the implications are that the brands and the retailers have to figure out how to test and learn great content around things that will call to the shopper to action.
Okay.
They'll have to figure out new product intro campaigns, and lastly, figuring out how to work collaboratively in reaching that omni-channel shopper.
Henry, thank you so much for coming in today and for your insights. If you want to learn more about this study, go to fieldagent.net. Saturday morning meeting for suppliers. We'll be right back.
K-Stack, the leader in collaborative retail consolidation programs. We offer the supply chain expertise needed to navigate the challenges of selling products with the world's largest retailers. And we provide customers with a customizable, scalable, environmentally sustainable supply chain with the same advanced technology typically used by larger rivals. By leveling the playing field, K-Stack lowers distribution costs and increases overall margins. K-Stack, retail logistics is what we do.
With me today is Leslee Urhahn from In Marketing to share some social media marketing tips for suppliers. Welcome, Leslee.
Thanks, Andy. I
Yeah, so
appreciate
glad to
being
have you here. So let's jump right in. What is the biggest misconception about social marketing?
So I think the biggest misconception is a lot of times thinking, I'm going to do a social program, it's a Facebook program, it's a Pinterest program, it's an Instagram program. Where really social marketing is more the conversation you're having with your audience.
Okay.
Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, they're the media you purchase, the platforms, but they aren't the marketing program. So the marketing program is the conversation that you want to have, and you need to be thinking about your audience and what they care about. So for instance, Facebook has a little bit of a different audience. Facebook is you and I's platform, where Instagram is much more millennial driven. That's where our kids are on Instagram. So if you're thinking about your conversation that you want to have, what your shopper cares about, are they caring about cooking meals and having recipe solutions for their family? Or are they interested in the most recent electronics or movies or music? And so then you want to make sure that you're focusing on the conversation instead of focusing on the platform.
Well, so tell me more about that, the conversation. So it kind of dives in between all of these different things, so you use all of these different platforms?
Well, so you've heard people say content is king, right? And content is really, really important. You want to make sure that you're focusing on bringing value to your shopper, bringing value to your audience, talking to them about what they care about, making sure it's an authentic conversation.
So rather than just pushing some message out there, you're actually listening to what they're saying and then creating that message or changing that message as it goes?
Right, exactly. And what makes it social is it's an engagement. It's a back and forth conversation.
It's not an advertisement, and I guess that's where a lot of people get kind of caught up in it, is social marketing it's just different, isn't it?
It's very, very different, because it has basically taken the place of the conversation that you used to have at your card club or your book club, or the conversation you'd have in your backyard over the back fence. Because of the technology that social media has allowed us and the explosion of it, you're having those conversations amongst those platforms, and you're talking to people that you care about what they think. They are influencers, whether it's someone who blogs about something that you care about, recipes, fashion, fitness, or if it's Beyonce, or if it's Dr. Oz. You care about what those people are saying. When you're going to do a social media program, you really want to look at what your objectives are. You really want to make sure that you're putting together measurable objectives. And a lot of times, if you're saying, I want to drive volume, I want to drive distribution, I want to fix a dip in sales, that's not what social marketing is designed for.
That's more typical advertising.
Or just more shopper marketing,
shopper
do you want to do a trade tactic, which is let's throw a price rollback on it, right?
Yep, exactly. Display,
so social marketing is more engaging in a relationship with your shopper. So for instance, if Smucker's has peanut butter and they're developing social marketing programs, then they're engaging mom who's interested in solutions for her kids, quick, easy solutions for her kids. And Smucker's has a whole portfolio of easy, quick solutions for moms with their kids. So if they develop a social marketing program, then they would be smart to say, hey, our objective is we want to engage in a dialogue with a shopper who cares about our products and is interested in hearing what we want to say, and then delivering value-added content to that shopper. The biggest thing that I like to look at, that we really focus on, is you can get really bogged down in getting impressions versus engagement. So if somebody sees it, that's great, you want them to see it, but you want them to become engaged in it, because engaged are going to become more loyal, and then they will also influence the people that follow them or the people that they talk to.
Well, Leslie, thank you so much for coming in today.
Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-200-1112 today.
We all have large libraries of data. Unfortunately, most companies never read what is in their library, but instead settle for top-line reporting. Beyond software that just automates, when we open our minds to being curious and creative with data, we discover the insights that build into remarkable ideas which deliver business growth. Here at the Harvest Group, we do just that. Open up your rich consumption data into a set of priceless ideas that grow the business. Are you ready to unlock the ideas buried in your data? Let the Harvest Group take a look at your business.
8th and Walton can help you become a smarter supplier with webinars and classes, services like custom training, consulting, HR solutions, and staffing. Visit www.8thandwalton.com to find out how you can become a better partner to Walmart.
Looking for a way to grow your business with Walmart or Sam's Club? Join us March 20th, 2015 at the Walmart Supplier Solutions Summit at the Crossmark Center for Collaboration in Bentonville, Arkansas.
With me is Stephanie McCratic of Acorn to talk more on social media and influencer marketing. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, you were just here a couple of weeks ago, weren't you, with Jeff?
I was.
Yeah, what's changed since then?
I had a baby between here and there, so yeah, I have a beautiful baby girl, Piper Claire.
That is a week old.
A week old today.
Wow, you are one committed person, and we so much appreciate you being here today. Well, let's get into it right away, because I know the baby's in the other room. So,
yes.
All right. So how is influencer marketing different from traditional social marketing advertising?
That's a really great question, because traditionally, and it's funny to say traditional social media marketing because it's so new.
Become traditional.
Right, yeah. We're like 4 years in. This is good. So social media marketing is when you're using your own branded properties, generally, to share your message. So you're using your supplier Facebook page or Twitter account or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever. You're telling your message via social media. And hoping that it goes viral or goes
people
somewhere.
Are listening to it, that there's a conversation going on about your products, and you're kind of controlling that conversation to a certain extent.
Exactly. So influencer marketing is intentionally working with other social media influencers, whether they're on Facebook or blogs or the other channels, and using them to tell your message. So you're deploying them with your campaign or your initiatives or your goals and setting them free to expose it to their audiences.
And does that allow you to control the message then?
Sort of. If you work with the right people, there is a lack of control that brand managers and marketers have to get comfortable with. And a lot of times we're holding their hands going, it's okay. We're gonna work with the right people. We promise she's not gonna come unhinged, or we think she's not gonna come unhinged. But there is a lack of control in that you want these people to use their authentic voice.
So what defines an influencer, or I mean, and how many of them are there?
Okay, so there are, of bloggers alone, there are 31 million in the U.S.
31 million.
It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot.
And how does Acorn kind of find, out of that mix, the right type of people that influence for products then?
Well, it's not easy. There are a lot of metrics that we consider. Most people will instantly go to, well, what's their Twitter following? What's their Instagram following?
What's the number, right?
What's
Everybody wants a number.
Alexa score or compete? And we know that each of those metrics has flaws and has good things about it. So we have our own metric that we use and an algorithm that vets these people out. And it includes how often are they posting, when are they posting, how much engagement are they getting when they do post, how relevant are they to this topic. Right,
because you want to have the right person talking about your products.
Yes, you don't want somebody who is strictly posting about pet care 24/7, all of a sudden talking about your detergent pod. This is like, excuse me, the modern fence post, or the proverbial fence in the back, your backyard fence.
Where you're kind of talking to the person.
Yeah, where you're talking to your neighbor and they totally trust what you're saying, but now we're able to do it at scale. Because when you post something on social, instead of talking to one friend, you're talking to a bunch of friends.
So what do you need to know before you start reaching out to influencers? What would suppliers need to know? If they've never really done this before, they've done traditional social media, but now they're kind of taking this next step, what do they need to know?
The best tip that I can give is understand who you're reaching out to, and understand that most of these people, save a few internet celebrities who have the opportunity to do this full time, most of these people are doing this as a side job. They either have a full-time job elsewhere, or they are a stay-at-home mom, maybe, which is a full-time job. And they have limited capacity. Their audience is important to them. The influence they've built up is very important to them. Their community is so important. So how do you honor that? When you're pitching these people, say you found somebody that you think would be just a perfect match for your brand, and you want to reach out to them. It's as simple as sending them an email. There's no magic to it.
Well, find out if they're even interested in the product.
Yeah,
right?
And reach out, and then, but the way you communicate with them needs to be humble and honoring of their space, but then also keep it very efficient, because they're getting 5 to 10 pitches a day.
Right. So companies traditionally, they kind of manage their message and everything else. What's the real benefit of using other people to tell your story?
So, kind of like I was mentioning before, you're able to leverage that word of mouth marketing that we know has always been the most influential form of marketing since before marketing.
Right.
You know, when I hear from you, hey, this is a fantastic iPad case. You know, it's different than me seeing it in a circular or hearing a radio ad. You told me, I saw it. You're using it. I love it because you love it. So no matter what the product is, when somebody that you know and trust, whether you actually know them in real life or not, you know them digitally, says, hey, you know, I love these diapers because, or, you know, I love this thing.
And it's a personal story that goes along with it.
Yes,
well, Stephanie, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Just so recently having the baby and coming in today is awesome to share about social media. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's meet our next guest.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information or a tour, call 479-200-1112 today.
Haden Walton can help you become a smarter supplier with webinars and classes, services like custom training, consulting, HR solutions, and staffing. Visit www.athanwalton.com to find out how you can become a better partner to Walmart.
Looking for a way to grow your business with Walmart or Sam's Club? Join us March 20th, 2015 at the Walmart Supplier Solutions Summit at the Crossmark Center for Collaboration in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Brandon Viveiros from Saatchi and Saatchi X is here today to share how suppliers can use social media to connect with shoppers. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you, Andy.
Great to have you here. So how has the social digital space changed over the past few years with how you guys connect to shoppers?
Yeah, so one of the things that we can do a lot better now is we have a lot more data that's available to us. There's a lot more targeting information. We have a lot more demographical information. So we can target our campaigns very focused to a specific shopper or shopper group in order to maximize what we want to do.
Okay, so in connecting with those shoppers, then you're able to find out who those shoppers are?
Yes, whenever you sign up for a social media channel, you provide a lot of demographical information, as well as your activities that you participate in through those social media channels. Also give indications of some things that you might have an affinity for. So if you follow a certain brand, let's say, then we'll know that in that category that might be something, or that might be an area that we might want to target you with. And so when we go and we want to communicate to you, it helps us communicate and give you information that you probably want to hear because you've indicated that you've wanted that before. Plus, we know a little bit more about you and we can target you in the proper way.
Okay, so can you give me an example of a campaign that used social media or influence to drive awareness?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my favorite campaigns, or actually it's more of an interaction, is between something that Starbucks did with Katy Perry a couple years ago. It was really great because it was authentic. And I think that's one thing that everybody should be cognizant of when it comes to social media, is that authenticity.
Well, I think suppliers, have to hear that message, that they have to be authentic with their customers, the way they message things out and the way they communicate with them.
Right. Yeah. People want to see a brand as being human. And that authenticity, that authentic language, the way that you communicate with that shopper, that person, that individual, has to sound like it's not coming from a big brand. It has to sound like it's coming from your friend. And so one of the things that Starbucks did with Katy Perry, Katy Perry tweeted out, "Hey, I'm not going to be drinking Starbucks for a while." Well, in return, Katy said, "Hey, don't worry, I'm not going to listen to California Girls anymore. I've moved on." So. It allows that authentic conversation. Yes, it's a celebrity and it's a big brand, and obviously there are relationships that take place there, but there was no relationship necessarily between Katy Perry and Starbucks at that time.
So it was a real conversation between them.
It was, and that's how it should be taken, no matter if it's a celebrity or a person. When you're a brand, people expect you to respond just like your friend would respond to you.
Right. So how do you see the landscape continuing to change, as far as digital media goes?
So it will change because we'll continue to get smarter, and we will continue to test, learn, and optimize. And so as we take the data and we try new things, and we have now the ability to measure and learn on the fly, so we can make decisions much faster. We don't have to wait till the campaign is over to change, and we can be more agile in the way that we do our marketing. And so what works up front might change during a campaign. The other thing is, ears are always on. And when the ears are always on, we can listen.
Now, what does that mean? Ears are always on.
So social listening. So we are listening to what's happening in the marketplace. We can listen to what's happening in social media when the Super Bowl is on or the Grammys are on. There's an opportunity for brands to play off of what's happening during those periods of time. Nobody sits down and just watches TV anymore. They have a laptop or they have a phone, and they're following a conversation while those things are occurring. And so brands have those opportunities to take that organic traffic and turn it into brand message. So if you think about what Oreo did a couple years ago in the Super Bowl when the lights went out. And you remember that Super Bowl where the lights went out? Well, Oreo turned that around and said, "Hey, you don't need the lights on to dunk an Oreo and eat it." So it's a great example of taking what's happening in social media at the time and have a real-time response that is going to be effective with people who are following you.
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you, Saatchi and Saatchi X. For more information on social media, Saturday Morning Meeting has developed a free ebook to help suppliers navigate this new world of marketing. Download your free social media ebook today. Go to 8thandwalton.com. Now, our special thanks to all of our guests. I hope their information and insights help you in your business. Give social media a try and tweet us. We'll tweet you back. I'm Andy Shook, and from all of us at Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, thanks for watching.